So, theming in React. First thing we're going to do, very important to a front-end developer, is open a terminal or command line window. I keep all of my projects in a folder called source, so we'll just navigate to that. If we do ls in there, you can just see I've just got my React Sensei repo. This is a very clean computer. I've literally used it about 7 times. So let's start by creating a React app. Theming app. And create React app is basically a zero config tool for building and producing React apps with very little configuration. You get things like live reload, you get SAS support, you get all the new features of JavaScript, modern ECMAScript, optional chaining, all that sort of stuff. So once we get into that, we're just going to bring up a code editor. I'm going to use Atom today. I do use VS Code, I do use WebStorm, but Atom at the minute is really good for CSS in JS. So now that's done, we can cd into that folder. I've got some files here, so we're just going to do npm start, get that project running. I think I'm using Safari, but you can use Google Chrome. I just haven't installed it yet. So what we get here is a basic React app. Doesn't do anything. It's just got all the boilerplate we need to start building our app. So if we go into Atom and then open and then go to source, theming app, and we can start to tear this project apart. I usually delete that, I'll delete that, I keep that, delete that, delete that, delete that, and then I think in here, this will be using this report vitals. I don't need it. And then in here, we can literally delete that. Just put my app. I'll take out these 2 files. You can see because this is React 17, there's no import React from React. So we go back to the browser. Okay, so let's just get these. I'll do it side by side. You guys are going to be shouting at me to get a snapping tool, aren't you? Okay. So the first library we need, so we'll just stop that. We're going to do Mpm Styled Components. And Styled Components is basically a CSS in JS pre-processor. You write all of your site styles in tag template literals, which are also a new feature of JavaScript, which are only possible because of something like Create React App and Babel, to write all of your styles in JavaScript so that it becomes more one language, and single file components, in my opinion, are a lot cleaner and a lot easier to maintain. So inside package JSON, you'll see it's added our style components, or you can also tear him out. You also get rid of these as well if you want. Why not? I mean, there's other stuff. I usually take these out as well. Just keep them. Okay. So let's start back up. Okay, so the first thing we do with style components is we're going to import a theme provider. And basically the theme provider takes a single object, essentially wraps your entire app. If you download the Sensei library, we've created a Sensei provider which basically wraps up this thing. It does the same thing as the style components theme provider, and straight away it's going to tell me that the theme prop is required because it needs a theme, and a theme can just be a pure object that we can just declare in line here with anything in it. I'm going to say color primary purple. Well, let's go Rebecca purple, and then you just pass that like a prop, and it's telling me I've missed an equals like a noob. So now this theme is being injected into any components we make after this. Okay, so first thing we can do with our theme is we can have theme dark and theme light. And I'm going to do color background. It's going to be black. No, white. Color text black. And the color text is white. So it's basically the inverse. We can take that. We'll use that in a later. So now it's saying theme dark, theme this. So what I want to do is put this into state. So I'm going to import use state from React, and down here we're going to say theme set theme equals use state, and then we're going to set it to whichever one you choose really. I'm going to say we'll set it to light. So that error should go. So the next thing we want to do is make a toggle for our theme. So there's another function within style components, which is basically the default export, which is this styled, and now we can make like IM so we can make a style button, and this is where the tag template literals come in. It's like the funkiest syntax I've ever seen, but inside of here you have just normal CSS, and I've got like IntelliSense in here, all your flex stuff. But for the background of this button, I'm going to say, sorry, these are my code snippets, so bear with me. I'm just trying to make it fast. So we can, in each styled component that implements this styled dot tag, whatever it is, the dependency injection into that is this props field. This means that we can declare this component, and pass props to it. And then we could ignore that error. Instead of going theme, we could say is active red, otherwise blue. So we're going to get this red button. Likewise, if we take the prop off, we're going to get a blue button. So the next part of that, like my other snippet, if I press IPT, which means import props theme, we get access to this theme object, which is going to be whatever is injected in via this theme provider. So if we say color background and then color text, we're going to get a white button with a black background, because theme light, if we do theme dark, spell it right, we're going to get a black button with white text. Okay, so now what we want to do is make this button toggle theme button, and then instead of, I mean, this is probably bad practice, but you know, it's a tutorial. I'm just going to make a position fix division in the top corner, top left corner, fills the screen. And then the background is going to be color background, and then the color is going to be color text, and then the button. One thing we can do here, we can say theme default. So we'll make another theme, and that can house this primary color of Rebecca purple. And then what we can do is, before this theme gets set, we can say const new theme equals, and then do theme default and theme light. I should probably do that in a use effect actually. So use effect is another hook that can be used to basically call something once when the page loads. I mean, it's frowned upon from some people, but if you pass a blank dependency array, it will do this only once. So it will just say set theme and then put these in there. I'm also using spread operators, which is obviously quite a technical thing to I guess you want something in there. Okay, so next we want to be able to, actually I haven't used that one. Let's just wrap that, because what I really wanted to do was this is going to be color primary. And then its text is just white. So we get this purple button. I also want to make sure this is working, so I'm just going to add some flexbox to it. Okay, so that's in the middle. So next we're going to build a function that handle theme changed. I'll use the word toggled. And then in here we can literally just say, this is where it's useful to set an ID for a theme. You won't necessarily use it in your styles, but you'll use it to identify your theme. It'll come in really useful later on in your app building. So handle toggle theme, and we'll say if theme .id equals dark theme equals, no, sorry, set theme, spelled correctly, is theme default theme light. And then you can imagine what the else is. Obviously we've only got 2 themes at the minute, so a toggle just toggles it from that to that. If you've got like 10 themes, like something like React Sensei, then this is not going to work basically, and it'll have to be a little bit more advanced, but not too much, and we'll get to that in later tutorials. Okay, so now we've got this function that's gonna, if the theme is dark, it's gonna set it to the light theme, otherwise it's gonna set it to the dark theme. We should be able to just wire up an on-click event, call that handle toggle. So now when we toggle the theme, it goes from black to white. So that's a basic implementation, 71 lines of code, dark theme to light theme. If you want, you could transition, the background, arbitrary duration, and that'll put like a dim effect on it. So if you see that, didn't save it, so that's without light, straight off with the dim. Thanks for watching, guys.